This is a request from one of my followers. The person reached out to me and they're like, what is my strategy to maintain my athletic physique? Like, give me 5 tips that I could use to maintain my athletic physique or even build an athletic physique, right? And what I want to say is, when it comes on to the athletic build or just being an athlete, you could there's multiple ways you could get to this goal, but I'm going to share with you my 5 things that these are the tried and true things that I implement over the past 15 years, 20 years to help me to maintain my athletic physique and also perform at the highest level. So for those of you who are new to my channel, remember to like, remember to subscribe. 2-time Olympian here, Rockstar Kato, and without further ado, let's go. So the first thing that I do and what I recommend, whether any sport at all that you do, you want to combine weight training with high intensity cardio. And what I mean by this is, people think high intensity cardio, for some people high intensity cardio means they're going on a long run, right? They go for a long run or they're running for a long time. And weightlifting, they think just doing some heavy back squat is weightlifting, right? So I'm going to relate it to what I do. So how I combine weightlifting with high intensity training to help me maintain my physique is, when I go to the gym, I'm a runner / sprinter. So when I go to the gym, all my exercises are going to be tailored towards running. So you may catch me doing lunges, you may catch me doing front squats, split squats, you may catch me doing split snatches, you may catch me doing cleans, you may catch me doing power cleans, full cleans, all types of explosive movements. You'll catch me doing single leg movements, right? Core workout. So you want to combine all of these exercises. And the biggest thing to take away from this, guys, is when you're training for a physique and you're trying to look a certain way as an athlete, or you're trying to be an athlete, it's not about just targeting one specific muscle group, right? You want to focus on full body movement. You want movement that forces you to be coordinated. Like, you have to work on coordination, you have to get mind and body connection. So again, work on, the first thing that I would implement is weight training with high intensity cardio. And then for high intensity cardio, it's different per person. For myself as a runner, I do high intensity cardio for a couple seconds, right? So I would do like a 15-second run, or a 23-second run, or a 45-second run, or a 90-second run, right? Where I'm running close to max effort and taking full recovery in between. And that, I would say, to me, is what I would consider high intensity cardio. So if that's your goal, where you're trying to really work on that athletic build, where you're not trying to be big and bulky, but you're trying to be lean, you're trying to be fit, you're trying to be agile, I would say don't focus too much on just the physical appearance. Focus more on the performance, how you feel, are you moving correctly? Focus on movement. So that's going to be number 1. Now let's move on to number 2. This is a big one for me, guys. It's all about number 2. We're focused on flexibility and range of motion, right? And what I mean by this is, take for example somebody who's a bodybuilder, not very flexible. They have very huge muscles, they may be very powerful, right? But flexibility, they will lack flexibility, right? Even simple as touching your toe, like even simple things as taking both hands and placing them, straighten your legs out and placing your touching your toes with your fingers, like stuff like that. Being able to do high knees, being able to do like jumps, right? These are the things that you need to focus on if you're trying to focus on that perfect athletic physique. And again, guys, if you notice the common trend here, everything that I'm telling you has nothing to do with just a physical look. It has everything to do with performance. So the second thing you want to focus on, again, is flexibility and range of motion. You want to be able to move correctly, right? Dynamic stretches. So you will catch me doing dynamic stretches. You'll catch me doing yoga. You'll catch me doing full range of motion movements, because I know how important that is when it comes down to that physical appearance and that athletic performance. So number 3 is, you want to do plyometrics. And again, plyometrics is something that's tossed out there, and people have different definition of plyometrics. But plyo is all about there's levels to plyometrics, right? So I would say start out slow, because it's going to be a lot of like jumping and a lot of good. Plyometrics is really good for your tendons, it's good for your knee, good for your joints, right? Build that tendon strength. And again, it comes back around to what I'm saying, where you can't really see a tendon popping out like that, right? But if you train plyometrics and you're able to jump high, you're bouncy, you're able to move quickly, you're agile, these are things that give you that athletic build. So the next thing you want to focus on is plyometrics. I would say add, for me, I'm a runner slash sprinter, so I add lots of single leg jumps, I had lots of pogo hops, I had lots of bounding, skipping, like skipping ropes, I do hurdle hops, like lots of those type of movement where I'm not going for long, but I'm doing very small movement and I'm being very explosive, right? So number 3 is going to be plyometrics. No matter what you're doing, even if you're in the gym as a bodybuilder, it's good to get some plyometrics in to be agile, right? And then number 4 is, this one is kind of tricky, because number 4 is you want to go up with your reps sometime, and then sometime drop your weight down. So you have to find that medium, right? There's lots of information out here that's saying, oh, lift heavy, lift that, move heavy weight fast, right? That don't make no sense, right? What you want to be able to do is lift moderate weight fast, right? You don't want to lift super, first of all, you cannot lift super heavy weight fast. You're going to go, the heavier the weight, the slower you're going to move it. So what you want to find is that perfect weight. So I would say if I weigh 170 pounds, I'm lifting half of that, and then I'm trying to move that weight as fast as I can, right? And then I will graduate from that to lifting my body weight, doing some back squats as fast as I can, or some weighted high knees as fast as I can, right? And that's how I would kind of help to get that physique. Again, it comes back around to performance. If you're trying to have an athletic build, you have to focus a little bit on performance. You want your body to be performing at a certain way. So I would say pick a sport, no matter what the sport. If you implement this trend of tips that I'm giving you, no matter what the sport, you will see results over time. And then the last one, which is the most important one, and this to me is like the end all be all. If you don't have this down pat, no matter how much you focus on the first 4, it won't make any sense. So the last thing is going to be nutrition. And nutrition doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to start somewhere, right? And what I would say is make it very simple. I like 2 meals a day. My trend is 2 meals a day, right? And what I do is when I first wake up in the morning, I don't eat anything. So I train fasted. And then what I do is right after I'm done training, I make sure that my meal is balanced. So I like oatmeal. So I would have oatmeal. Sometimes I would have like eggs. I will have eggs with bread and avocado, and that's like a full meal for me, right? And then what I would do is make sure that I'm having a balanced diet. Like for dinner, you want to make sure there's protein on your plate, you want to make sure there's carbs on your plate, you want to make sure there's vegetables on your plate, right? Stay away from ultra processed food. And then also, guys, let's add number 6 to it. Number 6 is going to be recovery. Sleep and recovery, right? You want to make sure that the amount of effort that you put into your weight training, high intensity training, your plyometrics, all of those things, you want to make sure that you're putting that same amount of energy and effort into sleeping at night, getting 7 to 8 hours, whatever you could get. I would say try to aim for 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep, right? And you want to make sure that you're doing stretches for your recovery. You want to make sure that you're doing, I like meditation, I like stretching, I like a little bit of light yoga, and those are the things that I do to improve my recovery. Also, I invest in myself, so I will have like the Normotech boots where I would use those on days where I went really extreme, right? So you want to focus on exercises that's low intensity when you're doing recovery. You want to focus on exercises that are low intensity, but also that's going to help with blood flow, right? And that's how muscles recover. So those are going to be my top 5 things that you could use to build that body that you're looking for, to work on your athleticism, right? Those are going to be the top 6 things. So Rockstar Kato here, 2-time Olympian, training for my third Olympics right now, and I'm bringing you guys along with me. Guys, all of these things that I'm telling you are things that I implement in my training to get the most out of my performance. So if you're an athlete looking to improve your performance, implement these in your regimen right now and stick to them and watch over time how much results you get. Follow along, guys. I have more informative videos coming your way. Rox Raikedo here, and I'm out.